Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, this video is cook at home, using up the leftovers, and many more people will end up homeless this year. So I've been watching these many people will turn up homeless this year videos, and I thought I'm going to weigh in on this subject in a minute. Okay, this is my leftovers. I had, now this was one of my better ones. I boiled 2 chicken legs in some chicken broth. Then I added rice and peas. And then I had the rest. I mean, this was really cheap, you guys. So I have some chicken. I'm just going to make one sandwich. It's late. I'm going to make a big sandwich, but not this big. So I can make anything out of this. I'll probably just make sandwiches out of it. So I want to put some lemon pepper. Uh-oh. I want to put some lemon pepper and some paprika on my chicken. And some paprika. So what I want to do is the 15th of the month. I want to eat all the food in my house. So I want to make a grilled cheese sandwich with chicken. Okay, today I went to Ralph's because I needed bread. I thought, you know, the bread is usually the bread that's expired that day. And so what I thought is, I think I will take a look at the bread and try to find the most cost-effective bread that is the freshest, because I like to eat sandwiches. So this one was marked down $1.50. It was $2.49, and I saved $1.50. So out here, a loaf of bread is about $5. So if you can get a loaf of bread for $2.50, that's a really good deal. So okay, I'm just gonna put mustard on my sandwich, like a grilled cheese sandwich. And I wanna, okay, it's the 15th of the month. So if I'm really, really thrifty for the rest of the month, you guys have seen me do that. Okay, I will be buying some stuff, like from now on, I want at least 5 pounds of potatoes in my house. So I have 1 sweet potato left. I made one tonight. I'll show you in a minute. And then I will buy 5 pounds. And like the bread, I want the freshest potatoes I can possibly find at the best price. And then I want to eat them until they're pretty much all gone. I want to have, at all times, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and rice, because I mentioned to you, rice and potatoes, quick energy, glycogen replacement, you know, that's important when you're older, and cognitive function. I go, what? Okay, I'll eat them. You know, some of these diets are dangerous. You know, what can be more dangerous in your old, well, actually, you guys, there's quite a bit of danger that we're facing right about now. I'm going to talk about some of it, but one of the worst things I can possibly think of is cognitive decline in your older age. It's not so much of a problem. And then I have some cheese. So this is going to be a big fat sandwich. All right. So I'll put the cheese side down first. Nice fresh bread. I melted some butter. Okay, I learned something, you guys. You heat your pan. You heat your pan before you put your oil and your food in it. I didn't know that. Well, like my ex-husband always used to say, he was a home cook. That's me. The only cooking I did was for my family of 1 child. But you know, it's very important that you cook for yourself when you get older. You know, you don't want to start getting really sloppy in food preparation, or, you know, save money to the detriment of your health. I'll put that on when I get ready to flip it because it's a pretty big fat sandwich. All right, so that's the first thing. All right. The chicken, I thought, wow, you know, from boiling my chicken in the chicken broth like that, the chicken's not going to taste good, but it tastes fine. Okay, so I had leftover chicken. I bought the bread for $2.49 at Ralph's Markdown. I bought one stalk of celery because I have homemade peanut butter. I bought coleslaw the other day. You guys didn't see it because I can make good potato salad, but coleslaw, I mean, I can make it, but to me it tastes better. I bought this at Ralph's. No, I bought this at Walmart. So I'm going to have some coleslaw. Then I made some sweet potato, roasted sweet potatoes. And then I made this. This is going to be cottage cheese. Because I've been eating, I bought this buttermilk for like, there's still some in there, 62 cents or 65 cents. So I had two of these small ones and one large one. So what I'm doing is I am freezing them in this size. And so then, you know, they're not going to go bad. Coleslaw, so it's going to be leftover chicken, bread, celery, I bought those. Coleslaw, I had that, and I had sweet potatoes. Okay, so the carbs that I want to protect my cognitive function, now they're starting to admit that a lot of things are a disease process. A lot of things to do with old age. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, I will capture my cheese. This is going to be some cottage cheese. And this thing is nice if you have one of these. There's probably a more efficient way to do this. And then I want to save my whey. Okay, stop. Uh-oh. You don't know all the stuff that can go wrong trying to cook and talk. Okay, so this is buttermilk, and I just I heated it to almost boiling. Now with buttermilk, you don't have to add anything, but I had bought this bag of lemons. So I added lemon juice in my buttermilk, and then it coagulated. So I heated it to almost boiling. Then it was coagulating. Then I turned off the heat and I covered it. So now this is still going to be a lot of food. Okay, so I just want to try to press most of the, and then save your whey for either bread baking, or you can just drink it like tea. All right, then with my cottage cheese, I have in my stockpile peaches. I want to stock up on some cases of fruit, because fruit is getting really expensive. I don't eat that much fruit, but that is something, you know, when you really feel like eating it, if you don't have any, where's my spatula? Oh, here it is. When you feel like eating it, if you don't have any, okay, it turned out perfect on this side. Uh-oh. Yum. So every night, I eat a lot of sandwiches, a lot. Okay, so I'll put my cottage cheese in a little bowl. This is going to be my dessert. I'm trying to switch a dessert. And then here's the whey. So you can see that's more than enough for a batch of fried bread. So a fried bread is usually 1 cup flour and 1 cup hot water, but you can use whey, and it turns out really good. So now I will just put some peaches on my, when I can find these for about $1.29, I grab them. I might buy 6 at a time. And so I'll put quite a bit of peaches on. That's about 1/2 can. These cans are about 3 1/2. So this is a nice little dessert. This is a good thing to get your kids used to, you know, eating like cottage cheese or fruit, and even fruit and regular cheese or crackers. All right. So here's my dessert. All right, here's 1/2 of the lemon. This wasn't the juiciest lemon, but it was good enough. Oh, what did I do? Here it is. All right. Sometimes it's just nice to see. I'm lifting it off a little bit because I want to heat my chicken, but I don't want to cook my sandwich anymore. Okay, so then, okay, I told you guys, I went to get iced tea. Iced tea for a glass is $3. I said no. So what I did today, and I'm doing it tomorrow, this was a full glass of iced tea, and I froze the whole thing, and then I took it out today, and I've been drinking it. Part of the reason that I buy fountain drinks is to get nice cold drinks. I'm doing pretty good on the tea as opposed to Diet Coke. And then I did the exact same thing with some dollar soda pop from Ralph's. I mentioned to you guys that I found the Ralph's soda to be a little bit, you know, the dollar one. Okay, so if you're paying $3 for a soda pop, if you freeze them, it doesn't wreck the carbonation. So you can have 3 liters as opposed to, you know, the 1 44-ounce cup. And then at McDonald's, it's 32 ounces. One of them had really bad iced tea, but I'm not saying never again, but I sharply want to curtail until the price goes down. Okay, I could live with $1.69. But when they started getting really greedy up towards $3.50, it wasn't worth it to me. Okay, now about sandwiches. Tonight is grilled cheese sandwich. Yummy. Let me get my cheese melted a little bit more. Peanut butter and jam. Okay, today I was eating my leftover soup with my homemade peanut butter, but I wanted to mention something that I will be stocking up on. Not a lot, like 3 cans. This jam is from Walmart. And then this is my homemade peanut butter. You guys have seen me make it. So today I had my leftover, you don't see every single thing I eat, but one of the things I like to eat is crackers. Did I take my crackers out? Yeah. I usually buy about 6 of these a month. I could even eat the chicken on these. I could make chicken salad with mayonnaise and pickles, whatever you like. Okay. So peanut butter and jam, tuna, and grilled cheese. So what I'm doing for the next 15 days is I'm just going day by day, being as totally thrifty as I can. Because, you know, like, have you guys ever went on diets and you say to yourself, wow, I'm hating life on this diet, but you can kind of stand it for 3 days. So here is my chicken and cheese sandwich. And then this is a lot. I made roasted sweet potatoes, and then, so even though I'm being incredibly cheap, this is not too bad. So I think what I want to do is I want to have these sides like potato salad. I can make good potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and then what is really, really good on sweet potato fries is this chipotle ranch and lime. But I will add the lime when I eat it so nothing gets soggy. So, and then I have my peaches. I bought this one time when I got it cheap. Looks like I bought it from a grocery outlet. All right. So this is a cheap, let me get a shot of everything for my thumbnail. You might be thinking, why do you do that in the middle of the video? Because, you guys, that's the way it's always been done on my channel. Okay, so then for the drink, I'm having frozen tea or frozen dollar soda pop. Okay, there has been a report of monkeypox in the wastewater of San Francisco. I said to myself, okay, no more carelessness with water on my part. What I'm doing is I am buying spring water because the bodybuilders, a lot of them drink spring water. So for just drinking, for the birds as well, I will drink spring water, but I will still refill my water at the kiosks because there's a good one by the Ralphs, but if it's boiled or in cooking or something, it's okay. But by the time it shows up in any water, it's parts per million. So you got to know there's quite a bit of, up to a certain point of toxins are allowable. So monkeypox is vile, and who knows what else is showing up. Okay. This is one thing I expect is some water emergency. I got this $3.15. It was $6.99. So I usually buy the big detergent, and I thought, why do you do that? Just buy the ones that are on sale for half price. Okay, so now I want to talk about okay, also because of the monkeypox, a couple days this week I had a vile smell coming out of my toilets. I thought, wow, so one of the things I'm going to be stockpiling up on is bleach, and I'm putting a cap full of bleach in my toilet water all the time. Also, we need bleach in case there's some contamination of the water. Okay, so there's 15 days left of the month, going $3 3 days at a time, and at the end of each 3 days, I'm going to be evaluating. I'm going to be cooking at home and using the leftovers, and just making food out of the food I have, unless, of course, like I need bread or celery. I eat quite a bit of celery with peanut butter. You guys don't see me do it. All right, now down here to more. There are videos circulating. You guys might have seen these More people will end up homeless this year. So I want to talk about this. When I was young, I had very little money, and one of my big fears was I wouldn't be able to pay my rent. So, like, I wouldn't spend any money, nothing. I mean, it was awful really living that way. But if you know that the possibility is looming, if you even have a clue, you have to be super, super careful with your money, no matter what. Okay, get your gas and electric turned off, run out of food, go to the food pantry, get your car repoed, which would be bad. So one of the things is car payments. So it would be better to let your car go back, get a used car before it goes back. I was talking to someone and I told her my son got a really nice car for $13,000 on CarMax, and they shipped it to the house like a day later. No going around. So get a cheap paid for car and keep it full of gas as soon as you can, because you have to have a car and gas to get to work. So just like the same thing on your apartment. Like I lived in the ratty apartments, you saw them. And as this economy gets worse and worse, believe me, people are going to be coveting your ratty apartment. Sinister owners and managers are going to be licking their chops. I've had that happen twice. Okay, and it's going to become worse if the housing out here, they're setting up homeless tents, like encampments, literally camping for the homeless, safe places. Isn't that kind of like a FEMA camp? I mean, there was a time people would go, oh, no, no, no. So it's possible more people will lose their jobs. So if you're in like some kind of situation, immediately you have to look around for a cheap, small room. You have to, before you lose your job. A garage, rent a garage. Now people are renting free areas in their houses. You find them on Craigslist, OfferUp, and you might have to, you want to get into it before the worst happens. Like I had unstable jobs I've told you about. If you're working for an unstable person or an unstable company, they make you unstable. So garage, vans are better if you do become homeless. And then I was talking to this guy. You know, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, it's like I am wasting my breath. But a long time ago, I saw this lady begging for money, nice looking lady, and she had some kids, and she goes, I can get food, but I don't want to sleep in the homeless shelter. And she had a little Ford Ranger truck. If you have a truck, make sure you have a cab over. So the guy I was talking to today, I go, just get a cheap one. He goes, no, I have to get it water. You know, it's hot here now. I go, no, just get one. No, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm wasting my breath. But just get one. And another thing I was trying to tell him is they are like money in the bank. And the thing is, if we get a bunch of fires here, those are easy to sell. And then when you get on your feet a little bit, you know, then have them installed correctly, or, you know, buy a better one. Also, you know, we have here, honestly, they're not that easy. I was getting kicked out of one of my apartments, and there was like this ratty trailer park. And I said, go over there and buy me, I said to my son, go over there and buy me a trailer. So my son goes over there. There's one available. We said, okay, we want to buy your trailer. And they go, well, I don't know. My son goes, well, pay 6 months rent in advance. No, they wouldn't sell it to me. It was awful. It had like a 5-pointed star in the driveway. It was just a hellful place, but back to find somewhere. So there's cheap RV parks. You know, there's really ratty trailer parks, you know. Think about that. One of my friends had wanted to get a job. She got out of college here in San Diego. It's like trying to find Section 8. If you go to another place, it's easier to find it, but she couldn't find a teaching job here, but she could find one in El Centro. That is doable. It's worth it to have a full-time job. And you know, you could drive back and forth every few days. She wouldn't do it. And so then she suffered all kinds of hardship. Okay, so that is what and so I think the thing to say to yourself is, yeah, I could end up homeless. I could end up homeless. Easily. Okay, now I want to talk to you guys about something else. Okay, this is more people will end up homeless still. Okay, in the Bible, I'll start out with this. There was this woman on YouTube, and she was talking about she would have dreams from God, and she wouldn't know the dream. She would forget the dream, but she knew she would have had it. And that at later points, she would remember, or she would just know about something. So I think that is, not saying she was a prophet, but I'm saying this could happen. It's like many times in my life, I'm not saying I had a dream from God, but things would work out in the weirdest way, you know? And so I knew it was God's grace, but like when you encounter situations, bad ones, and you get out of them so easily, you know something is up. Okay, it turns out in the Bible, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. He sent for his magicians, he sent for his black magic people, and he said, what was my dream? I know I had a dream, I don't know what it was. They said, how are we supposed to know? We don't know. So then he called in Daniel, and Daniel said, let me pray to God and ask. And it was a dream of a tall statue. The head was gold, the chest and arms were silver, the belly and thighs were bronze, the legs were iron, and the feet were iron and clay. So people have gone over and over. I think this was like a prophetic dream. And it can mean a lot of things to different people. So there is like, okay, so this is like, this happens to good people. They know something, but they don't know how. Also, you know, there's been angels that have come to warn people. I want to mention a prayer. I hope none of you ever need it. It's, God, send your angels to help me. And if that doesn't work, can you come yourself? And he will. So, okay, so now so this is like on the good side. Okay, so you might be, I've heard of, this is why like these government run apartment buildings are so bad, because they could deem a family of 4 is more fit for your dwelling. People are always worried about my when I lived in this real ratty apartment, my spare bedroom and my spare parking. I pay for it. I don't want a roommate. Anyway, it's irritating. So there's also a counterpart to this knowledge of good. Okay, so the source of these, you could have like a very upsetting feeling when you wake up. The source could be other people or devils. They can, you know, affect your sleep. Especially, and this is another thing about this communal living. God knows who the people in the camp are. I mean, you could be some lady who lost her job. So I've known of a couple that had, between them, they had $2,200. They didn't have a car. They didn't have enough on the ball to find somewhere to live. And they were living like out back of a garage, or, you know, like a place where they fix cars. So now you could have like this feeling of, my God, I could end up homeless, you know? So or like feelings of like impending doom, or like paranoia about accidents. That's the devil, literally. So I want to mention about reincarnationists. Okay, they say everything we do today affects your future life. But what's also true is everything we do today creates our life tomorrow. So let's say for the next 3 days we were super, super cheap. If you have some stuff that kind of needs to be done, doing it in the next 3 days, just like trying to make the best use of the next 3 days. On the fourth day, you're going to be in better shape, and you're going to do this 5 times before the end of the month, and buying everything marked down and on sale. I've been trying to exercise within reason. Okay, so we're thinking about this like homeless situation thing. Some people literally don't have anybody. So what you have to do, especially if you're really broke, you could end up in a situation where you couldn't even afford a car. So you would want to search out homeless shelters. And you would want to say, okay, the only time I'm going to be in that place is when I'm sleeping. I don't know why more people don't take advantage. They're probably awful. Who knows? There's also Tijuana and Tecate. That's really cheap. I think it'd be better than the streets. I see people here in town who live in Mexico. It looks like, I'm going to be honest to you, it looks pretty bad. Okay, now I want to talk about these low rent apartments. So you're going to find low rent apartments, but there's something really bad about low rent apartments. The managers have a key, and it always seems like they hire the most, they look like criminals. And then the other thing is somebody they know, or the owner knows, or the property manager knows, needs an apartment, a cheap apartment. So they're very dangerous for all kinds of reasons. Okay, so now think about garage, spare room, and extra space as opposed to tent city or FEMA camps. So what I used to do is work 2 and 3 jobs, because what I just described to you happened to me, and I would always have a couple jobs. And then another thing is, if I didn't earn that much money on one, I could earn money on the other. So now that I'm retired, I do YouTube, which doesn't pay much, but that's not the point. It's a little job. I do eBay, and every once in a while I earn money on that, and then I do the swap meet. Start living as cheap as you can right now as just a way of life. So what I'm doing for the next 3 days, probably for the rest of the year for sure. First of all, we see looming wars. Anything can happen. So we're saying to ourselves, well, do I think this is a looming war? Yeah, I think it's a looming war. It's also an election year. That can be bad. So just go each day. Like today, I went to the gym. I came home. I was doing a little work around the house. Okay, and then try to eat the food in your house before buying more. A lot of times people have more food in their house than they think. And then go back to the rice, the beans, the potatoes, the pasta. I made a list, and I want to mention this now. All right, where is that list? So, okay, think about this food list. This is like cheap food that you might have in the house. Cereal and milk, like oatmeal, peanut butter and jam, honey or brown sugar, wheat sandwich bread. Okay, I am not eating the down and dirty wheat bread that tastes like cardboard. I'm just trying to move a little healthier. Eggs. If you have eggs, you can make an egg salad sandwich. You can make a fried egg sandwich. You can, make some boiled eggs. Okay, cheese. You can make a grilled cheese sandwich. You can make macaroni and cheese if you have pasta. So then if you stockpile evaporated milk, you don't even need butter. You just cook your pasta, and when it's cooked down and it's done, you add the same amount of evaporated milk and cheese. And it's lower in fat too. And you can do that with any kind of cheese. I'm going to be doing that. Macaroni, so cheese and macaroni, rice, beans, potatoes, soup, and crackers. And I'm going to be making this soup. I have canned soup, but I'm not going to be buying canned soup. I'm going to be switching it up to chicken or beef broth with rice or pasta and some vegetables. So crackers, but if you have soup and rice and you don't have any crackers, crackers are good because you can use it for sandwiches. Okay, now think about dehydrating your figs or your raisins in your air fryer. So it just so happened that I got an air fryer a couple years ago, and I'm going to be making use of it. So peanut butter sandwiches, grilled cheese, and tuna. So it would be the same thing if you wanted to make a tuna casserole. You would cook your noodles down, you would add evaporated milk and cheese and maybe some peas. So this is all really cheap food. So we're just going to be doing every cheap thing, not misery making, because if you are doing misery making cheapness, you know what's going to happen? You're going to fly out of control and go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and buy a $44 bucket of chicken. This is not funny. One of the men said, you know, you find out when, I think it was El Pollo Loco or Little Caesars dumps their food, and I'm not going to tell you what time. And one of the followers goes, it's 6:48. One time I was doing dumpster diving, and so I got in the dumpsters, and one dumpster was all lettuce, all kinds of produce. So it can be done. And he said, I have tips for homelessness. I have tips too. Let's try not to let that happen. You know, it's sad that a lot of people don't have families. One time when I got kicked out of one of my apartments, like what I'm describing for you, I had to stay for a little while in my mother-in-law's garage, but actually my ex-husband was living in there at the time. So I lived in the garage while he was at his girlfriend's house. It really wasn't that bad. Garages, as long as you have a bathroom, even if you don't, are not that bad. You know, people make a big deal out of everything. We're not going to be that way. Also, I'm stockpiling the wipes to wipe your rear end or clean yourself with, like baby wipes. Okay, so just eat the food you have and just buy, okay, if you need celery, if you need bread. So now, you know, when I went to the food pantry, they gave us 2 loaves of bread. But I would just buy one at a time, so that bread doesn't expire until August 27th. Whereas if you buy the markdown bread, it's expired that day. So I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, no. So let's say it could happen to anybody, so it's best to live this way. Go to the food banks and pantries. I don't want to do that right now because the cost of groceries is so high that I don't think it's a good idea but if like you're a senior woman, you don't want to be eating bad food going without because you don't want to take food from somebody. You are somebody, you know. Don't drive anywhere except for work. So what I do is I drive to the gym and I drive back, and that is it. If I go somewhere, it's on the way to and from. And don't use any utilities. So what I do is from the time I get up until the time I go to bed, I'm out of the house. pretty much until it's dark. So the peak hours are 4 in the afternoon until 9 at night. So if you can be out of the house, and then if you're really broke, turn everything off at the breaker and just leave your refrigerator breaker on. And or just, you know, go without utilities. I worked in salons. I was kind of really amazed. A lot of the women and their kids had been homeless, literally, and their kids were still going to school and stuff. It's terrible. One of them got a real ratty trailer. This is another thing. She had this trailer with a ceiling that leaked. You need to figure out, now you can go on the AI and ask them, and you need to figure out how to do stuff yourself. And then like the guy I was trying to tell today about the cab over, because my ex-husband used to buy them all the time. Go on OfferUp, you know, maybe trade your car in on a cargo van, probably nothing with a trailer, because this goes back to don't do anything to make it worse. So, you know, start doing this stuff now and start cutting the utilities way down. So your big expense would be rent, and then utilities, and then food, and then gasoline and car. So once you kind of like reduce those way down, it's really going to help. But if they kick you, and they love to do this to seniors, I don't know why, and it's like a disaster when it happens to them because they don't have that much money in the first place. I have known women, one of my customers goes, I couldn't believe how much my mother left me. And so I had known her for a long time, and I thought, well, I can kind of understand, because my customer worked for this wealthy man, and she lived in as like a housekeeper and a caregiver for the daughter. And so she was never, that's another thing you can do, live in or nursing if you're a woman, even if you're a man. So, okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. Bye.